Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, today we're here to look at this yacht here. It's an unusual shape, let's say. It's very high, quite short to explore a yacht, and it was known as K42 in build. It's a 42 metre, about 140 feet. And the owner of this boat this was not his first boat. He had a previous boat, a 29 metre at the time, that he commissioned this boat to be built in Italy. And the owner was not your average super yacht owner, because he was an owner who lived on board 24/7, 12 months of the year. He was a live aboard owner. Like I said, it was called K42 in the build, and then the name, as you can see on the back here, is a bit confusing the way it's spelt on the boat. But we'll go and have a look at the back of the boat and then we'll talk more about it. So what we can see from the side here, like I said, it's quite a tall boat for its length. It's got a large volume for a yacht of 42 meters. It's just under 500 gross tons. There's a reason it's under 500 gross tons, because there are regulations that are required when a boat goes over 500 gross tons. This is why you often see these similar numbers on different bills. If you look closely there, you can see there's some damage on the bridge ring there, and that's probably when they were docking the boat alongside another boat when it was stern to, and the other boat probably hit that, and you can see there's a fender there to prevent that kind of damage, but unfortunately it managed to get damaged anyway. That's probably recent, because it's unusual for a boat to have damage on it like that for any period of time. So this boat was at the Monaco Yacht Show recently, so it's possible that it happened at the yacht show. But as you can see from the name here, it seems to say Audace, but it's actually the owner, who's Italian. The name of the boat is Audace, and that V is actually pronounced like a U. So I think that the spelling of it is actually with a U, but for some reason it's been put on there like that. It's got a black top to the vessel, interesting colour scheme, and then also Malta flag, and it's registered in Valletta, obviously. And then you've got a massive crane there on the stern. There is another, I believe, equally sized crane on the bow section. And this vessel is unusual, again, because of the size of the vessel, but it actually contains a Land Rover Discovery that can be craned off the boat onto the shoreside. Now, I believe that is held in the forward end of the boat. There is a massive crane there anyway, so that's clearly there to lift big items on and off the vessel. Well, the owner of this yacht, his name was Andrea Meloni, and he is a lover of things like bicycles and yachts, clearly. And he was the owner of Indeset, the washing machines, all that kind of stuff. He loved super yachts so much, or he loved yachts so much, that he decided to live on board this yacht, and he built it specifically so he could live on board all year round. And you can see that in the way it's been designed, the equipment that's on board. Like I said, the ability to have a vehicle on board, be able to winch it on and off, which is unusual for a super yacht, believe it or not. You might think that that's quite normal to have cars on board, but it's not. And certainly not on board a vessel of this size. Like I said, it's only 42 meters. I know that sounds funny, but it's a small super yacht to have a car on it. The only other yacht I know for a fact that has a car on board is Motor Yacht Nord, and that's a 142 meter yacht. So yeah, this owner was passionate about yachting, and he loved his yachts, and he commissioned the build of this vessel in Italy. So one of the things that the owner wanted was to have a completely separate space to live in, and this deck up here, this top deck here, is the owner cabin, and it's a private space for the owner, and only the owner can access these spaces through private staircases, so nobody can come through it. And this is because the owner wanted to live on board, and he didn't want people just walking through his private areas. Obviously, if you're going to build a yacht, you want to have spaces for the guests, and what he did is on the main deck he had guest cabins and they have the ability to have sections that open out on the side of the boat, so they've got great comfort, but at the same time the privacy for him is quite clearly apparent by the way the boat has been designed. Now, as I was saying, the code name for the vessel, or the build name, was K42. The vessel now, as it stands though, is no longer 42 meters. It is a 46.6 meter vessel, or 152 feet. So that means that the vessel was extended, and it had a refit where it was extended. It was extended from 42 meters, which is 140 feet, to 46 meters. I think this is a perfect size for me. So the vessel normally carries a big tender, and the tender sits here normally when they're at sea, and this crane here is capable of lifting 9 tons, and that is there to lift the tender from the aft deck into the water. 9-ton crane, and they have 2 of them. Andrea Meloni had no kids. He wasn't married. He was 50, I think he was 50 or 51 years old when he commissioned the boat. And he said that he because he didn't have a family or kids, he wanted to maximize the enjoyment in his life. And he built this boat to live on permanently. Now, the vessel was delivered in 2019, and then it was refit not that long after, and that's where the stern extension, or the extension of the vessel, was made. Unfortunately, tragically, Mr. Meloni, he passed away in 2020, so just a year later he died. And I don't know why, but for me it makes it a little bit more sad that when he died he wasn't on board. He was in Milan, and the maid found him the next morning, and they suspected it was cardiac arrest. 53 years old he was when he died. So he built this beautiful boat, very specific, for his future and to enjoy life. And unfortunately, he never really got a chance to enjoy it. I'm sure he enjoyed it for the year that he had it, but it's a very sad ending to a great story about a beautiful yacht. Now, this yacht was at the Monaco Yacht Show. The yacht is for sale, and considering the unfortunate circumstances of the owner's or the late owner's death, the vessel is posted by Edmiston on their website for sale for 26 million euros, which at this point in time is about the same in US dollars.